not get caught. They've told us these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administrations. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, and prevent any disease. Yeah, but I thought it had healing properties, man. I wonder what happened to that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I may sound like I'm a complete prick, okay? I may sound like I'm an awful person. But, you know, when I look through some of these Kickstarters, I won't deny that there's some genuinely good ones out there. But there's always the ones that leave me cringing hard inside. And I swear to God, when I get sent this stuff by, like, friends and family, some of my friends and family will actually sit there and say, you know, maybe this is, like, real. Maybe this is true. The part of me inside says, that's cute, but I'm too skeptical to give a shit about that. But ladies and gentlemen, that was the Kickstarter of the days, okay? We learned how vibrating my throat can prevent me from eating. And fucking Orgone Energy will cure everything. Maybe next time I'm plugged up inside, I can use Orgone Energy to release my bowels, and we'll have a good time. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I've taken too much of your time up. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.
M13, boy.
Guys and gals, me Mutahar, and welcome to another virus investigation. Today we have something all about the sheriff, the spy sheriff. Now, these ones, this video falls under the category of malicious software, and boy does your boy love malicious software a whole lot. Now, the reality is, like ransomware, a lot of the malicious software can be pretty similar in terms of what it is, but the beautiful part of malicious software is when you get into the really far as to going into Windows' system restore points, which is a common feature used in Windows to revert back from, you get rid of it, it just comes back. Now, the way that this actually spread was through an interesting type of web page, which is what we call typo-squatted web pages. Basically, a typo-squatted web page is, say, for instance, something like, say, Newgrounds, right? Or, well, better example, maybe be Google, right? Let's assume that somebody took a common misspelling of Google's, like, so, I don't know, goggles, or googlies, or whatever you want to say, right? A weird misspelling, and basically registered that as a domain. And on that domain, they made the site look as it was Google, or something else, and on that site, they would basically lead to, a certain call to action, where you would click on a certain page or you would download a certain piece of software, basically trying to tell you that maybe your computer was infected, you need to download something to get rid of it, or clear up your infection, so to speak. Basically a website that would disguise itself pretty similarly to a real website. And of course, since it couldn't get the real domain address, it has to use a common misspelling. It's basically designed to be a untrustworthy website. It's disguising itself. It's masking itself. But basically at this point, you would essentially go to this fake website, and at this point, what would happen was you would come across a web page that was, Spy Sheriff. It would redirect you to Spy Sheriff. You get, like, fake amounts of everything, and essentially what you would lead to is a downloaded version of this program. So, what would happen once you got Spy Sheriff? Well, for the first part, it would look like any standard antivirus software, but you would have a lot of interesting payloads that would kick off. Basically, deriving off of a common Trojan Fundo, you would essentially get a bunch of payloads where Spy Sheriff A couldn't be deleted. It would stop the computer from connecting to the internet, or at least limit your Internet Explorer settings so that you couldn't access certain web pages. So if you tried Googling how to get rid of Spy Sheriff, guess what? It was going to prevent you from doing it in the first place. The background of your computer commonly would be changed to something like a spyware was infecting you, right? You would be told that a spyware is infecting you, your computer wallpaper has changed. You remember how we did WannaCry and it
Did you know ID theft happens online every 2 seconds?
it changed our wallpaper to like a black screen. A similar situation, except this one would be a little more scary to the unknown user. Now, it would also make a administrator account, which was the first time I ever knew about this. It would make an administrator account where it could basically lock you, the user, out of certain key features. And at this point, it would also prevent you from doing system restores, which, for those of you who don't know, Windows' feature is to basically roll back big changes. You wouldn't be able to do that anymore. So that being said, there were many clones of this, but we're going to look at the original one real quickly. So, unfortunately, the issue with getting something like Spy Sheriff in 2018 is pretty fucking difficult. As you can see right over here, even after extracting Spy Sheriff, the issue over here is that we have an offline installer, which is about 48 kilobytes in size. So even if you start the installer, the biggest problem over here is easily hitting install onto it is just going to leave it in a loop. The servers aren't active anymore, and unfortunately, Spy Sheriff only came through a online installer. As far as I know, no sample of the offline installer was available. It just basically permeated itself in your computer if you gave it this allowance. This web page alone itself, if you go to Spy Sheriff, if you just type it in, is not available. So actually, let me just fire it up real quick. Let me actually copy it just to show you guys that it's completely offline. And unless you go through something like, say, what is it, Wayback Machine, you'll be able to find something. But going into this over here, yeah, you can see Malwarebytes blocking actually everything. But let me just copy that real quick. Yeah, something like this, so to speak, go over here. And just try accessing it through my virtual machine's internet browser real fast. Maybe if it exists, it'll do something. Actually, it's not even picking it up over here. The actual web page itself has been totally blocked. But if I go to web page Wayback Machine, for instance, you'll be able to find something of the sort. So if I just open it up real fast and just sort of drop it in over here for you, it should be able to get me something. Maybe Malwarebytes might trigger. If you look around over here, 2018 was when it was like last available on the 8th of August. And even then, I think we might not be able to get something. Because it was actually active in 2018 and actually picked up. Maybe it might be a different thing under the domain. I'm not sure. Maybe Spy Sheriff went legit. Who knows, right? We're not really digging up anything, so I just keep going back. I don't think Malwarebytes will really block anything. It would have warned me, right? So yeah, at some point in 2014, Dynadot lists that it's gone. But if you look at the webpage, this is essentially what you got. This is how I downloaded it from it anyways. So Spy Sheriff is an award-winning spyware removal utility that will help you find all kinds of spywares and adwares, including keyloggers, Trojan horses, password thieves, and on. I think next week I'll make a keylogger video. If you guys want it, let me know in the comment section below. And over here, it's going to give you fucking key features of Spy Sheriff. Jason from New York City writes, "You practically saved my life and my marriage. Thank you so much. My personal workstation has never run that fast. Thank you. Performs a user-controlled and automatic threat scan with optional threat removal." Okay, so apparently, if your computer is infected, it's slowed down, internet connection speed is decreased, you download music or software from the web, you get pop-ups and annoying ads, you basically get the question. It's scareware, essentially. And it's supposed to be designed for 95, 98, NT, Millennium Edition, 2000, and XP, so 100% satisfaction guarantee, can't be wrong. Well, that's the Spy Sheriff, ladies and gentlemen. That's about it. Success stories are even fucking hilarious. I think they're just, saving his marriage. Okay, so I'm glad that the marriage has been saved, but unfortunately my computer still remains infected. Now, running this software, there's people who have cataloged the basically what it will do, and essentially when you're running it, it's pretty much like your standard Windows XP software. You're going to get situations where it's going to dig up like 90 viruses on your computer. You're not going to have any viruses, but it's going to bullshit you and lie to you like most rogue antivirus softwares do. But the biggest thing that's also in this situation is that it will prevent you. If you go to your Internet Explorer settings, as I'm able to access Internet options right now, you will not be able to access that as efficiently or at all if you had this virus currently on you. You wouldn't be able to go into your privacy settings, your security settings, and be able to...
Oh my god!
...getting out of it, right? If you go to something like, say, add or remove settings, go to control panel real quick, add or remove programs on Windows XP, you won't be able to find and remove programs as efficiently. You may not be even able to access this at all. That's one of the big things right there. And again, even if you remove it out of this way, it's going to have enough trace programs inside it to easily install it back into your computer. So you can't really avoid it.
Fucking ass camper.
Would essentially turn into a giant blue screen or a giant scareware screen to basically tell you that you have been infected in very, very terrible situations. So, how would you remove something like this from a computer in this situation? And it's not that easy. It wouldn't be that easy. Because of the fact that it hooks itself into your computer so fast using a very nasty Trojan backend, it's going to enter a situation where you'll be able to add or remove maybe, if you get lucky. But the biggest way that I think you may be able to survive is if you get into your system restore points. But even then, this software has a dirty habit of... of going into those same system restore points and completely cutting you off, or maybe deleting or corrupting some of them. So you get into a situation where even that isn't an option. But let's assume that you do, then maybe, just maybe, you might be able to save yourself the tiniest bit of task. Maybe you might be able to get yourself safe. Who knows at that point, right? Because you may be able to go into your safe mode settings and be able to dig something out of it that way. You're entering a crapshoot. For instance, this is System Restore. It still actually exists now in Windows 10, if you just open it real quick. System Restore Point. Yeah, it's a common thing that happens right now. So if you go to, what is it? Let me just type in System Restore real quick. Create a restore point. Basically, here's Windows 10, here's the Windows 10, System Restore. It's about the same bit of technology. Basically, it's going to create a system. It's going to create a point where it stores pretty much all your snapshots, everything down to a T, so you can easily revert back to it. If you were to do this while Spy Sheriff had infested you, you would not be able to even make it this far. If you go to Restore Points over here, you can actually see when it installed Systemware Tools, a system checkpoint just before I installed VMware. So if you go next on it, it'll restore your computer.
My God!
Put it into
Oh my God, the
that
camper!
did
I kept
up
feeding
until
him.
that
Yes,
point
I
will be
know.
the only thing that's restored. Anything past
I didn't even have the
touched.
right gear to
what have
go
we
after
learned
him
in the
anyway.
end, ladies and gentlemen? This is a common bit of antivirus solutions that
It's
are
like,
available on the
fucking
internet.
God, I hate this
The reason
game
why I
and
cover
how,
these is I cover
like,
them in more escalating manners. Up until this point, we've looked at some that have actually done their...
it's like what's so annoying is how I literally, like, this game will not give you anything. I would have had them if this was like Modern Warfare Remastered, of course, because I'm that good at the game. I am a really above average player. But it's like this game will like hand you a kill every so often, and then it'll like give it to the other person, and it's like the most bullshit thing ever. It's so bullshit. It's like I would have had him the whole time, but there's just this. Maybe I'm not used to the controls yet, of course, but if this was like Modern Warfare Remastered, like handling and controls, I could have had him. But it's like also just the way how the game functions in like weird ways. I don't know how to explain it. It's just so bullshit. I mean, obviously, I've had players like that, like, who will literally camp and they'll move around a little bit just to surprise you, and they just thrive at that fuck-ass camping thing. And it's so shit annoying. My fucking God. Wait, what? Oh, I got... Yeah, just... I'm not. But yeah, fucking God. That was so bullshit. I know I kept feeding the camper. It's just that I've went up against campers like that before, and I have been able to take them out. But this game... Like, I am able to take campers out like that. But this game promotes, like, whatever, like, it won't let you. It almost feels like it just won't let you. Because the camper was so good at it or whatever. It's like that type of bullshit. Whatever.